1. The missed call. The last call came at 9:42 p.m. I watched the screen light up on the nightstand, saw Mom, and told myself, I'll ring her back after this email. I never did. Dear younger me, you think time is a plate you can keep spinning forever. You think voicemails are bookmarks in a life that will wait for you. Tonight, I'm writing from a room that still smells like the orange hand lotion she used and the mint tea she always forgot on the counter. I want to place this letter on your keyboard, right above the send button, and ask you to choose differently at 9:42 p.m. It's a Tuesday. You're proud of being busy. The glow from your laptop feels like proof. You believe urgency equals importance. When the phone rings, Mom, you weigh it against the email that can't wait. You've trained yourself to use phrases like that. Can't wait. Time-sensitive. Blocking. You are wrong. The email can wait. The metric can wait. The project can wait. The call cannot. Here is the part you don't know. In 3 hours, a headache at her temple will bloom into panic. Your sister will drive her to urgent care, where the fluorescent lights will make everything look colder than it is. She will keep telling the nurse, almost apologetically, that she didn't want to bother anyone. You will wake up to 3 missed calls, and your name on a clipboard that signifies next of kin. I need you to feel the weight of silence. Not as punishment, but as lesson. I need you to place your hand over the phone when it rings, and imagine all the days you were given. Days when she cut apple slices, and you faked a stomachache to skip a test. Days when she stood in grocery lines stretching the money. Days when she told you the truth, gently, even when it would have been easier to lie. When she calls, she is not asking for something heavy. She wants to tell you the neighbor's husky had pups. She wants to say the magnolia is finally blooming. She wants to hear your voice and give you the ordinary miracle of hers. What if you could go back? Listen, the world will continue orbiting if your email is late. Your career will not dissolve because you answered your mother. You will not fall behind. You will fall back into alignment with the only clock that matters, the one that measures love. Here is what to do. When the screen lights up, Mom, press accept. Tell her you have 10 minutes right now and an hour on Saturday. Put the laptop to sleep. Ask about the magnolia, the husky, the neighbor's garden turned wild. Let her ask the strange questions she asks when she's trying to keep up with you. Does the cloud ever rain? Are you eating green things? Laugh. Tell her about the train man who sleeps with a newspaper hat. Tell her about the kid on the scooter who waved at you like you were a parade. Give her the stupid, beautiful details of your life. Then say, I love you. Call me tomorrow. You will hang up and nothing will seem changed, and yet everything will be. The next morning, when the headache spreads, there will be another call, but you won't flinch. You will answer before the second ring. You will say, I'm on my way. And when you arrive, she will say, I knew you'd come. Neither of you will be wrong. If I could send you proof, I would. The text thread with the heart emojis, the voicemail where she hums because she forgets she's leaving one, the photo of her thumb on a mug, chipped at the handle. Instead, I am sending this request. Measure your life by returned calls. You can be excellent and be available. You can be ambitious and be present. You can pick up at 9:42 p.m. Please, pick up. Love, me. 2. The blue jacket. You'll think it's just a jacket. Thrifted cobalt blue. Too big at the shoulders. You won't know it carries a name stitched into the lining and a story sewn under the pocket. Dear Younger Me. You will find it on a rack between winter coats in July, at a store that smells like cedar and old radios. Cobalt blue, single-breasted, 2 buttons that feel like small moons under your thumb. You will slide it on as a joke, and then stop joking when you meet the version of yourself in the mirror who looks like he might say yes to things. Buy it. And when the clerk says, $8, don't make a face like you're doing the jacket a favor. You are the one receiving a gift. You will wear it to the interview you almost decline because the role seems too big for you. The jacket will sit on your shoulders like an invitation. When you reach for your resume, the cuff will flash, and the manager, who collects vintage radios and understands unnecessary loyalty to old objects, will say, "Great color." The conversation will ease. You will ask better questions. You will get the job. A year later, at a coffee shop where you write grand plans on napkins, a stranger will tap your sleeve and ask, "Is that the Cloud Street jacket?" You will think he is kidding until he says your jacket used to belong to his brother, Theo, who played bass in a bar band and wore cobalt when he needed luck. You will learn that Theo died in a car accident on a road that cuts through wheat fields, the road your bus takes every Thanksgiving. The stranger will touch the lapel with something like reverence. "He would have loved that the jacket's still out," he'll say. You won't know what to do with your hands. You will feel like you are guarding a lighthouse that belongs to someone else. Here is the part you could change if you go back. You will smile, mumble an apology that sounds wrong, and leave too soon because grief makes you clumsy. You will carry the jacket home like contraband and hang it facing the wall. For months you'll avoid it because it feels like a stolen story. Instead, choose this. Invite the stranger to sit. Ask him about Theo, what chords he favored, whether he liked the joke about the drummer who can't count, if he tapped out rhythms on the dashboard and hummed harmonies without realizing. Ask for a song. You might see his hands loosen around his paper cup. You might become a witness rather than a thief. Later, slip your hand into the inside pocket. You'll find the stitched name. You always do. T. Vance. You will also find a set list folded to the size of a stamp and a ticket stub to a show that never happened. Keep them, but don't hoard them. Let them change the way you wear the jacket, from armor into altar. What would it mean to carry other people's luck properly? It means saying thank you out loud. It means sending a photo of you on the night you finally play bass again. Yes, you. Because wearing the jacket made you brave enough to answer the Craigslist ad for a band that needed someone who could keep time and keep showing up. It means dedicating the 3rd song to Theo when you play in a bar that smells like pine cleaner and possibility. It means letting cobalt be not just a color, but a commitment. To wear your borrowed life gratefully. If you could go back, you wouldn't rush away from the coffee shop. You'd sit with the brother. You'd hear about the way Theo used to lend jackets to friends who forgot theirs. You'd realize you are part of that habit now, wrapped in a loop of generosity so old it feels like fate. You would not hang the jacket facing the wall. You'd lay it on a chair where the sun can find it. Wear it. Let it be luck. Let it be Theo. Let it be you saying yes. Always. Me. 3. The night I didn't turn around. At the crosswalk, I looked back once, saw her standing under the pharmacy sign, and decided to keep walking. The light changed, and with it, everything I wish I'd said. Dear Younger Me, You're both leaving the same bookstore with the same dog-eared essay collection. She will tuck it under her arm like a bird. You will think, that is how you carry something you plan to reread. The rain is indecisive. The green pharmacy sign stutters. When she asks, "Do you know if the buses still run past 10?" You will say yes, and it will be true, and you think truth is enough. What I need from you is something truer than information. The light at the crosswalk will blink the little white man, and you will feel busy in the bones. You will hear your calendar buzzing, even though you turned notifications off to look like the kind of person who doesn't need notifications. She will say, "Do you like Joan Didion?" while bending her umbrella back into a metal flower. You will say, "I do," as if you are making a confession you haven't practiced. Words will hover, then choose silence. There are moments, handfuls really, when the universe hands you a draft and asks for edits. This is one. Here's the line you delete in the first draft. "Anyway, have a good night." Here's the line you add. "There's a diner that stays open late. I'm going that way." Want to split a cherry pie and argue about endings? Nothing bad happens if you don't say it. That is what makes regret so clever. You will cross the street, buy milk, and go home to a lamp that smiles the same way it did yesterday. You will not lose anything obvious. Instead, you will lose the version of the night where you learn she moved here for grad school, and that she hates cherries, but loves the crust, and has a scar on her shin from climbing a fence to save a cat. You will lose the argument about endings that last 3 hours, the soft landing in which she says, "I think life is mostly middles." You will lose the note she would have tucked into your book, her number, and beneath it, "If you ever want to discuss beginnings." You will lose the small proof that you can choose wonder over inertia. Go back, turn around, practice the sentence once in your mouth. "There's a diner." You won't sound like a movie. You will sound like a person trying. That is better. If she says no, you will both smile, and you will walk away happier because you offered something worth refusing. If she says yes, you will split a banana cream because the cherry pie looks tired. You will admit you underline in pen. She will forgive you. Years later, you'll cross other streets with other signs that stutter. And the habit you build tonight of turning around is the one that makes you a neighbor, a friend, a person who asks clarifying questions, a person who says, "Want to sit here?" When a stranger hovers with a tray and uncertainty, you will become a collector of small yeses. When I hold the book now, the bookstore receipt flutters out. The ink has faded, but the date ruins me in a gentle way. I keep it for what it proves. Time can be a teacher who grades late, but thoroughly. Turn around. Ask. If there is pie, order 2 forks. With nerve you didn't know we had. Me. 4. The spare key. The night the fire alarm went off, I walked past Mrs. Alvarez's door barefoot, holding my plant and my laptop, and realized I had never given her the spare key I'd promised a year earlier. Dear younger me. You will promise things that sound like kindness, and then forget to convert them into action. A spare key lives in a drawer, next to rubber bands, and a birthday candle shaped like a 7. It weighs almost nothing, and means almost everything. Mrs. Alvarez lives alone across the hall. She waters her spider plant on Tuesdays, and listens to boleros low enough that it sounds like the building is humming. On the day you told her, "If you ever need anything, I'm right there," you meant it. You did. But meaning is not a door that opens, metal is. Tonight, the alarm will cough itself awake at 2:13 a.m. Somebody on the 3rd floor will burn toast in a pan, and panic will spread faster than smoke. You will find your shoes later under the bed and laugh at how you chose your plant over your passport. In the stairwell, as you watch your neighbors descend in pajamas and confusion, you will see Mrs. Alvarez lingering at the door, turning the dial on her deadbolt twice, as if that makes leaving safer. You will wave, and she will wave back, and both of you will pretend this is normal. It will not be a real fire, but it will become a real audit. How many spare keys have you not delivered? How many small promises sit in the junk drawer of your life, uncut and unused? If you could go back, you would knock on her door the day after you said the sentence. You would hand her the key with a ribbon tied through the hole, so it looks like a gift, which it is. You would write your number on an index card in big, clear digits, and add, "Call for anything," including opening jars. She would laugh and call you muchacho. The plant in her window would look healthier the next week for reasons unrelated to botany. You will discover 2 truths. First, proximity is a superpower. Second, people rarely ask for help on the day they most need it. The spare key is permission to ask on any day at all. When her arthritis flares and the pain makes everything feel far away, the key will be a way of saying, "Close is real." Months from now, you will come home to find a note slid under your door in tidy script. "I fed your plant. You were out of milk. I got you some. A." You will open the fridge and laugh at a cartoon cow on a gallon you didn't buy. Community will look like that sometimes. Milk you didn't know to request. Give the key. Give many keys, metaphorical and otherwise. Put a hook by the door labeled neighbors, and keep 2 copies of your courage there. The night the alarm cries, you'll knock on her door, and she'll answer already wrapped in a sweater. "I have your plant," she'll say. You won't remember giving her your spare key, though you did. That is the point. Kindness can become muscle memory if you practice it enough. The drawer where the key sleeps wants to be lighter. Make it so. Yours, me. 5. The email I never sent. Your browser will keep the draft alive for 2 years. Subject line. You crossed a line. It will survive updates, new laptops, even a new job. The friend won't. Dear younger me. You will write it after midnight when anger feels like a clean light. You will type fast, backspacing only for commas, convinced that clarity arrives with speed. When you told that story about me at the party, you knew what you were doing. You will tell yourself truth is a disinfectant. You will forget that it also stings. In the morning, you will reread and hesitate. The letter is accurate but not kind. You'll decide to wait until you're calmer, and calmer will metastasize into never. Meanwhile, the friendship will calcify into politeness. Birthday texts, weather-safe emojis, invitations that assume decline. Both of you will behave like diplomats, representing countries that used to share a border. Here is how to go back. Stop pretending silence is maturity. Hit send, but only after an edit that remembers who you were to each other before the party and who you could still be. Try this, subject. I miss us, and I need your help to get back. Body. When the joke landed, I felt small. I don't think you meant to shrink me, but I carried it home, and it's made me weird with you. I want to talk because I want to keep you, I can do next Tuesday. I'll also go first about my part in how we got here. Notice the architecture, honesty, humility, invitation, specificity. There is a bridge in those 4 beams. Walk across it. Maybe he'll reply quickly. I'm sorry. I was showing off. Meet me at the PHO place. Maybe he won't for a week, and the pause will feel like rejection until you learn his mother started chemo, and he's been sleeping in hospital recliners. Either way, the draft no longer owns you. You'll be a person who moves conflict from the inbox into a booth with laminated menus, where 2 humans can look at each other and remember why they began. If he doubles down, you're too sensitive. You will still have won something invisible and massive, the knowledge that you say what hurts without burning the house down. That skill will travel. It will make you a better partner, a clearer manager, a kinder neighbor. It will keep you from rehearsing imaginary arguments in the shower and writing award-winning speeches to an audience that doesn't exist. You will be tempted to catalog proof. 4 examples, 2 witnesses, 1 screenshot. Resist. Catalogs erase nuance. Conversations restore it. Ask real questions. What did that night feel like from your side? Listen for the sentence that changes everything. I was scared you were outgrowing me. Then admit yours. I was scared I was. Grief will sit with you like a third friend. Don't rush it out. Order more tea, and if the friendship ends, let it end with completeness, not static. Some relationships are rockets, loud, brilliant, meant for the sky. Others are trains, steady, scheduled, useful. Some are paper lanterns, beautiful precisely because you watch them float away. You don't need to hate the sky to release one. Send the email. Ask for Tuesday. Say you want to keep him. Even if you don't, learn how to try. With the courage we were late to. Me. 6. The photo I cropped. On my desk sits a frame with a perfect beach sunset. No windbreaker. No flip-flops in the foreground. No father with his arm half raised to wave me over. I cropped him out. Dear younger me. You will make the crop on your phone with 2 fingers, pinching the edges like you're tightening a belt. You will tell yourself the composition is stronger, the horizon rule, the golden ratio, the clean line of water. You will not admit you are tidying the past. The original shows everything. Your father's awkward stance, his habit of facing cameras with the full faith of a man who believes pictures are proof of having lived. He is laughing with his mouth closed. You got that from him. In the cropped version, the sky is cinematic. In the original, there is a story. You think you're making an aesthetic choice. You're making a relational one. You're shrinking the space he occupies to fit the version of him that is easiest to keep. You prefer quiet provider to man who sometimes disappointed me and sometimes didn't know how to say sorry. The sunset cooperates with that preference. Fathers rarely do. Go back. Uncrop. Practice keeping the things you can't control in the frame. When he knocks on your apartment door with a bag of tools and says he's here to fix the cabinet you didn't ask him to fix, say yes anyway. Watch how service is his dialect for love. When he hands you a sandwich wrapped in wax paper and says, "Your mom says you don't eat," eat in front of him so he can relax. Ask, "Do you want to see the river after?" Take the photo with both of you in it, even if the wind makes your hair ridiculous and his windbreaker looks like a tent. Here is the truth I learned too late. Imperfect people make perfect anchors, not because they never drift, but because they keep returning to the dock with whatever they manage to catch. Your father will always arrive with the wrong mustard. Take the sandwich. When he forgets details, you will want to correct him. Choose instead to ask for another story. Tell me about the time you slept in the truck on that mountain job. He will glow. The past is a room where he remembers being strong. Let him stand there, years later, when you clean out the garage after the funeral. You will find the box labeled photos that didn't turn out. Inside, 100 almosts, blurred fireworks, half faces, squinting smiles. It will occur to you that his whole life was a willingness to keep the almosts, to keep trying, to keep every shot in case there was a reason not to throw it away. That is an ethic. Adopt it. Uncrop the picture. Put the windbreaker back in. Put his hand back in, halfway raised. Let him wave you over forever, with the frame widened, me. 7. The apartment I didn't take. It smelled like lemons and old books. The landlord said the rent would go up next summer. I told myself I needed certainty. I bought a filing cabinet instead. Dear younger me, you will tour 12 apartments in 3 days, because efficiency feels like competence. The one on Maple has crooked floors that make marbles migrate, windows that accept light like a compliment, and a neighbor who plays clarinet after dinner. You will imagine yourself becoming the version of you who owns 3 plants and says hi by name to the mail carrier. Then, you will scare yourself with a spreadsheet. The spreadsheet will show that Lehman Books, that's what you'll call it, costs $140 more per month than the safe beige you settle for. It won't show what Lemon Books includes. A sun patch on the floor where your future dog will nap. A writing desk that fits exactly into the bay window. A kitchen you'll want to cook in because someone once cared enough to tile it with tiny blue squares. Safe Beige offers a fitness center and ice dispenser. Lemon Books offers a life. Go back. Choose the apartment that makes you want to become a person worthy of it. You are not a spreadsheet. You are a body in a space. Pay the $140 and take it from the category called performative frugality. Watch how quickly the money returns in the form of dinners at home, with friends who bring laughter and ordinary wine, in the form of mornings where you stand barefoot on lemon-scented wood and feel like an adult who made a brave choice. The landlord will tell you the rent may rise. Negotiate politely, then sign anyway. Stability is not the same as stagnation. You've been confusing them. In Safe Beige, you will hoard cardboard boxes, just in case, and read standing up because the light is wrong. In Lemon Books, you will buy a chair that makes you sentimental. You will stop eating over the sink. You will start throwing micro-parties on Tuesdays. A clarinet will warm the walls. You will be easier on yourself, then easier with others. One day, the neighbor will slip a note under your door. Sorry about the scales. Nervous before my recital. You will leave a lemon pound cake at his, wrapped in parchment. Break a reed. He will tape your note inside his music folder and keep it for years. The filing cabinet cannot learn your name. The apartment can. Choose the place that makes you practice joy like it's rent. With a key that turns smoothly. Me. 8. The apology I owed my brother. We were 12 and 14, and I won a fight I shouldn't have picked. The trophy was silence that lasted 2 holidays. Dear younger me, your brother will borrow your headphones without asking. You will throw a word at him, one you learned on the bus and never used out loud, because you want to sound like someone who doesn't get pushed around. It will land like a rock. He will hand you the headphones slowly, like returning a leash to a dog that bit him. You will expect a counterattack. None will come. He will go quiet in a way that makes the house echo. You will perform older brotherness loudly, lifting heavy things, offering rides you later rescind. Because guilt needs costumes. Here is how to go back. Find him that afternoon in the garage where he fixes his skateboard with too many stickers. Sit on the inverted bucket. Say, I was cruel. Not if, not but, not because. Cruel. Acknowledge the math. 1 soft spot, plus 1 hard word. Das. A bruise he will wear where you can't see. Then do what apologizers almost never do. Ask what he needs. Maybe it's silence. Maybe it's the borrowed hoodie returned. Maybe it's a promise that you will never audition for masculinity by using him as the stage. When you apologize, don't ask for absolution. Offer repair. Say, I'm going to make your lunch for the next week. Say, I'll talk to Mom about using the car so you don't have to. Say, want to go shoot free throws? Practice building bridges with lumber, not size. Years later, you will understand that those 2 holidays were not about headphones. They were about hierarchy, about how easy it is to turn love into a contest. Brothers are practice for the world, how to disagree, how to cut deeper or choose not to, how to admit the wound you inflicted, and then stand there long enough to see if it closes. The next time you feel the word loading in your mouth, remember the garage air, the smell of WD-40, the look he gave the floor because it was safer than your face. Aim lower, or better, don't aim at all. Set your weapon down. Say, I'm not right now. Give me a second. The truest strength I've learned isn't the punch. It's the pause that keeps your hands open. Call him tonight. Tell him the song you heard that reminded you of the summer you both memorized the rap verse and messed it up in identical places. Ask him if his knee still pops when he runs. Tell him you're proud of how he loves the world. Apologies age well when you keep feeding them. Let him be your brother. Be worthy of that word. Me, 9, the teacher I never thanked. She wore cardigans that looked like maps and wrote feedback in green ink. Find the pulse. Her name is on a folded program in a drawer. I never sent the email. Dear younger me. Senior year. Ms. Patel will hand your essay back with a note that isn't a grade. There's a heartbeat here. Let it be messy. Everyone else will receive corrections. You'll receive permission. Your life will tilt a degree. You will intend to thank her every time you use a phrase she taught you. Show, don't parade. Verbs do the heavy lifting. The reader is smart. You'll plan to write after finals, then after graduation, then once I publish something real. She will retire in the meantime. You will learn this from a post you scroll past at a red light. Go back. Write a letter now, not a resume disguised as gratitude. Tell her the sentence she saved. You're allowed to be specific, and how it kept you from writing generic love into your vows. Tell her you still carry a green pen. Tell her you found the pulse. Send it to the school office if you can't find her email. Teachers possess subterranean networks, more reliable than the postal service. Your letter will travel through hands that understand what it carries. If it reaches her, she will read it slowly, twice. She will put it in a box with a program from the first play she directed and a crayon self-portrait a kid gave her in 1998. If it does not, if it never finds her, write it anyway. Gratitude reshapes the one who holds it, then becomes someone's Ms. Patel. Write notes to interns that say, "There's a heartbeat here." Ask waiters their names and use them. Tip with a sentence, "You moved like a conductor." Text your friend who's parenting hard, "There's music in what you're doing even if the hall is empty tonight." The style guide of kindness is green ink. Years from now, at a reading you almost skip because the weather is rude, a stranger will hand you a book to sign and say, "I had a Ms. Patel too." You'll grin like you share a religion. Maybe you do. Thank her. Then teach like she did, as if finding the pulse is holy work. Affectionately, me, 10. The day I chose rest, I treated exhaustion like prestige. Then, my body filed a formal complaint, a migraine that turned the sun into a noise. I kept typing, "Dear younger me, you will spend a decade worshipping at the altar of later. Sleep later, eat later, love later, forgive later. Promotions will praise this faith. Coffee will play organ music. Your calendar will look like stained glass. The body, patient and literal, will keep minutes. It will escalate from whisper to headline. Tight shoulders, skipped meals, a throat that loses its vote. You will negotiate. After this launch, after this quarter, after this year, as if biology offers grace periods. It doesn't. It offers payment plans. When the migraine arrives with its black crown, you will dim screens and put your head on the desk like a child in trouble. You will Google home remedies with one eye. You will decline a friend's invitation to a lakeside picnic that would have stored 4 hours of laughter in your bones. You will tell yourself you're being responsible. You are being avoidant. Responsibility would have sounded like, "I'm not a machine. I'm going outside. Go back. Call in well. Not sick. Well." Say, "I am choosing to be a person today." Turn your phone off with ceremony, as if lowering a flag at dusk. Walk to the park, where a woman in a sun hat feeds birds with a generosity that does not expect branding opportunities. Lay down. Let the grass proofread your posture. Nap until your dreams sharpen. Then practice the radical skill that rescued me, incomplete endings. Close the laptop at 80% and live the other 20% out loud. Stir onions. Text your cousin. Watch a softball game you didn't plan to attend. Notice how the world keeps rotating with your draft unresolved. Notice how you return to it kinder, quicker, better. Because you honored the mammal who writes the emails, here is a list of Sabbaths that fit inside ordinary days. Stretch while the kettle complains. Put your face in the sun for one bus stop. Look at your hands like you were just given them. Drink water like it contains a secret. Say later to urgency, and now to the friend who asks if you have 10 minutes. You do. You always do, if you are willing to be precious about the only life you get. Schedule rest, the way you schedule performance reviews. Guard it with the same intensity. Tell people you're not available, and mean it. Teach them how to respect what you respect by going first. On the day you choose rest, nothing spectacular will happen. The sky will not applaud. But something quiet and structural will shift. You will begin measuring success by how soft your exhale sounds when you unlock the door. You will start remembering birthdays. You will stop apologizing for leaving at 5. You will become the kind of person who answers the phone at 9:42 p.m. and says, "I've got time." Lie down, younger me. Stand up differently. With a full breath, me